So if you walk around a lot of construction sites, right, you'll see a lot of quality, durability issues, right? You'll see a lot of essentially honeycombing, cold joints, cracks, etc., and a lot of premature failures as well. You design for a service life of 50 years, but you get a service life of only 20 years, right? You also see a lot of time and cost overruns associated with all of these projects. So the question that I have for both of you is, how do you see the role of innovation in the big industries such as yourselves in fixing this problem? And how do you see the role of innovators like our young undergraduate and graduate students over here in essentially preventing these problems from happening in the first place? Right, sir?
If I were to take that question, we are using the word innovation. The first and foremost innovation which has to be inculcated in our fraternity is ethics. And that is something lacking in the Indian industry. What Professor Keshav talked of, premature failures, service life, yeah, they are partially related to technical matters, but partially related or largely related to our psyche ke chalta hai. So possibly we will have to give a go-by to chalta hai syndrome, and we will have to come up with a strict regimentation in terms of the construction quality. Of course, the implementation and regulatory mechanisms will have to be robust. Somehow in our country, they are good on paper, but in terms of implementation, we are lacking in a big way. And honestly, I do not see any conscientious effort being made. Because we had approached Bureau of Indian Standards and complimented them that yes, you are bringing in more and more advanced codes of practices, which are now getting in line with the international codes of practices. But we will have to equally establish the implementation regimentation with the help of government. Eventually, BIS is under blessings and auspices of Central Government of India. So it shouldn't be too difficult for them. To some extent, I'll not exactly blame, but that had been our shortcoming as, let us say, Indian society. For example, since we are talking of concrete and cement and we are in the civil engineering kind of gathering, if you refer to IS 456/2000, that was the first time we talked of kind of not using OPC alone. We talked of mineral admixtures, but they were still not mandatory. While in 90s itself, if you go to any of the European nations, for the coastal region, the mineral admixtures, for the benefit of students, what I am saying is that I need to emphasize that unless you add something like fly ash or GGBS, your permeability of the concrete is going to increase, and that is going to create a problem in terms of the durability. Now I am finding in the upcoming draft that instead of having only two limit states, one of strength and second of serviceability, we are going to talk of robustness, we are going to talk of life of the building.
The durability is also
The durability, obviously, it has to come. See, durability was considered as a part under serviceability under 2004.
Yes.
But let's understand one thing, that how many years did we take? The previous code dated 1978. Even though it is dated 1978, most of you may not know, it was eventually published in 83. So even though it is dated 78, it came in 83. Before that it was 64, and after 78, 2000, it's now 2026 by when the code will be published. So this gap is a bit too long, and in a way we will have to become innovative as Indians to keep up the pace, because it's very easy to say. I believe more in personalities like Rahul Dravid, that if the going gets tough, you put your head down and start playing for the day. In a sense, if you keep on working, then you will eventually attain progress. So while we are talking of innovation, I'm all for it. But the first innovation will have to come in our psyche and culture in terms of working.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much.